I, I just, I love your story because you took an online course, which I've done a lot of them. You really looked up to your mentors. And then the most important thing is they offered you a chance to basically take your life to the next level. And you jumped all over it. And that's what's important. It's like sometimes when we get like a gift sent to us, we have to know when to accept it. And speed is usually key. Like, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Infinite Abilities Podcast. I am your host, Nick Yerhart, and we are here to encourage each other to find our own unique abilities. Let's go. All right, everyone. So today we have Kjell, and this dude has done some amazing things. He's been through a lot, but just like all of us, he perseveres and fights through. So I can't wait for him to share his story and tell you all about what he does. So, Kjell, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Kjell Phillips. I'm 30 years old. I'm originally from the Bay Area, California. Currently living in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And I would say to sum up who I am is someone who's always been passionate about the magic of life and the universe. Always wanted to know why he was here, who he was, and how he can make the biggest difference that he could and that he was meant to make. But for a long time struggled on figuring out how to do that and just finding his answers. And through years of searching, years of escaping, years of coping, eventually did find his answers that were ironically inside of him the whole time. And that journey brought me here to Colorado Springs, most recently moving in with my mentors, Vince and Mary Kramer, who are the co-founders of Purpose Meaning Joy, which is the company I work with now as a coach and teacher. And I would say I'm very passionate about people understanding how important and unique they are and how much understanding themselves will not only help them reach their full potential, but also will help the entire collective and world be a better place.
Yep, I agree. You know, once you understand yourself, the whole world opens up. You know, because like for me, you know, I spent my life basically trying to hide that I had cerebral palsy because I wasn't true to myself. I didn't accept myself. You know, I didn't like myself. And once I started working on that and started to love who I am and realize that I have a purpose, the whole world just opened up, and like my life is 10 times better now than it was, you know, 3-4 years ago. So yeah, I'm totally with you on that one.
I love what you said about purpose and how you figured out you had one, because that's like the cornerstone of who I am and the work that I do. And I think it's very important to understand that we all are here for a reason and we're meant to live that reason.
Yeah. Can you tell us about when you figured out your purpose?
So for years I was searching outside of myself more or less, and I found a lot of answers and clues. I used personal development, personality like Myers-Briggs and all that stuff, as well as alternative modalities such as astrology and different spiritual routes. But I even took the cliche route of taking a trip to Europe to find myself. And the irony is I wasn't in Europe either. I mean, I was when I got there, but not the answers I was looking for. But it wasn't until I found Vince and Mary in their work that I finally did uncover my purpose. And it was because of the support as well as the foundation and the tools that they provided, which they weren't there to give me my answers. They were there to support me in uncovering my own. And that was something I never thought about it that way, even though it's right in front of all of our faces, is that the answers are within you. But when I finally had the support to uncover those answers and the exercises and the coaching to find my own answers, I uncovered my purpose. And that was in the beginning of 2023.
That's really awesome, and I agree with you. We all have the answers within us. When I work with my clients, I'm not telling them how to live their life. I'm not telling them how to do things. I'm just figuring out what they have inside of them. Helping them reveal the answers themselves. That's what we do as coaches. We know how to ask the right questions and help them out. So
very well said.
yeah,
Coaching is definitely all about just holding the space and being a mirror for the person to see themselves in a different way.
Yeah, that's so true. And if you had to define your purpose, what would that be?
Well, this is this is a great question because then I get to debut the concepts and how we at Purpose Meaning Joy define purpose, which for most people, I'd say the vast majority, the two most existential questions are who am I and why am I here? Which who and why are two parts of your purpose, but there's also a third part, which is the what. So there's three parts of you: the who, what, and why of you. And after doing this self-reflection, connecting with the non-physical part of me, which was a very important part because we all have that part of ourselves that knows all the answers, knows all of our answers. It's just we haven't really been taught how to connect to that part. And after I learned how to connect to that part and really get some really good feedback and intuition and insights on who I was, I uncovered the three parts of my unique purpose, what we call your unique blueprint. So the who of me, which is what we call quintessence, which is your real concentrated essence. My real concentrated essence is whimsical inspiration. So that's the energy that I carry into the world that I can't hide from anybody. And the what, which is my gift to share with the world, is through creative expression and connection, help people to see themselves for who they are. And then the why of me, which is the difference I'm meant to make, the difference that I chose to make when I decided to inhabit this body of Kjell Phillips, is to change perception. So that's the difference that I want to make. And that's why I came here. And that's why I am who I am. As long as I'm doing something to help change perception, starting with my own, I know I'm living my purpose.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing your why. And it's so helpful because now people can think about their own why and start to uncover it for themselves. So thank you for that. And then when it comes to your coaching, who is your ideal client?
So I think I have I dream of touching a much larger demographic, and I think the essence of who I want to reach out to is people who are tired of kind of just going with the status quo, people who are tired of just doing what they think they're supposed to, and which is there's a huge difference. There's people who are very traditionally successful because they've done all the right things and they've quote unquote made it, but they're still not happy. They're still unfulfilled. And then there's the other far end of the spectrum of people like me who went against the grain, defied what they were being told to do, trying to make their own path, but are lost in that journey of trying to define their own path. So people who know that there's something more to this thing called life and know that there's a part that they're meant to play. They just haven't quite figured out how to uncover what that part is and how best to play.
Yeah. I like that, and I know that's going to resonate with a lot of people. So for anybody listening, if you think that Shaw can help you, which more than likely he can, reach out to him right now because this type of coaching is so helpful. I've been through it myself. I help my clients with similar things, but definitely different than the way that you do it, which I like that. We all are unique. So that's amazing. But we gotta know, how can people reach out to you?
So our website is purposemeaningjoy.com. My mentor, which is the owner of the business, Mary Kramer, she's the one running the show now.
Mm-hmm.
I have an instagram.com/puka shell, but with my name spelled the way it is, so it's PUKAKJELL. That's a really good way to contact me. I highly recommend reading or listening to my mentor's book, which is Awakening Through Moments of Choice, and that's available on Amazon. You can get the hard copy or the audio, and that really explains the story of my mentor, both my mentors. This one's focused on Vince Kramer, which is Mary's recently deceased husband, who awakens not only to his purpose, but to a whole new paradigm of reality. And his purpose was to help people uncover theirs, as well as step into a whole new way of being, not just for themselves, but for the collective. And when you read or listen to this book and just feel the magic of his and Mary's journey and how everything unfolded, it's hard not to connect with the story, and it's hard not to feel a part of yourself in that journey. And I think that's a great way to get introduced into our work. And it's even funnier because of how I ended up meeting Vince and Mary. I mean, I took their program online. I had never met them in person. This was in January of 2023. And upon completing the program, I was on the phone with Vince, and he actually is like, so if you're interested in becoming a coach for our company, we would be willing to have you move in with us in Colorado Springs, and we would mentor you for a while, and then you could eventually work for the company. And I more or less broke down, because that was kind of like the moment I've always been waiting for. And I packed up my car and I drove to Colorado Springs from California, and I moved into their home and met them for the first time on March 18th of 2023. And my life changed completely from that moment forward. And I know that's a pivotal part of my journey, and I think it's a really good demonstration of one following their calling and one following their heart, and seeing how trusting and surrendering to the unknown can really create a lot of magic and opportunity and success for not only myself, but for anybody.
You know, I love your story because you took an online course, which I've done a lot of them. You really looked up to your mentors, and then the most important thing is they offered you a chance to basically take your life to the next level, and you jumped all over it. And that's what's important. It's like sometimes when we get like a gift sent to us, we have to know when to accept it. And speed is usually key. Like if something feels right in your gut, just do it. No matter what. If it feels right to you, if you know deep down that you should do something, take the chance and go do it. And that's what you did. And now, you are just incredible. You're helping so many people, and I can tell you're just a happy person, which is really awesome.
Well, I mean, and then look at what situations it creates for people like me and you. Like, I get to meet new people. It's everything unfolds in such a unique and extraordinary way. And I love what you said earlier about how you coach and you do similar things, but it's a little bit different. And I think that's one of my favorite things about understanding purpose in this whole reality that we all live in, is we're stepping into a new way of being that's a lot more collaborative, and understanding that we don't have to be in competition, and even people with similar purposes and similar journeys can support each other, just like you're doing for me right now, and I hope I'm doing for you as well.
Oh yeah, that's how I look at everything. I don't want to compete with anyone, because you've got skills that you have that I don't. So if I come across something that might not be a good fit for my coaching, but there would be a good fit for yours, I can send them on to you. That's what we're here to do. We're here to make sure everybody gets the support and the help that they need. So whether or not I can do it or you can do it, that doesn't matter, as long as one of us is doing it,
I love it. Yes, very
Mhm.
perfectly said. You're making me very happy.
All right, so my slogan is your abilities are infinite. What does that mean to you?
I remember you talked about this when we did our interview, and this was a very profound question. Um, so one of the underlying concepts that we teach in this program, which is quantum physics and spirituality, is the essence that we create our reality, and we
Mhm.
create our reality through our perception, and our perception is based on our conditioning, our experiences, and particularly our beliefs. So
Mhm.
whatever you believe you can or can't, you're right. And
Right.
you're
Yep.
perfect evidence of this, because I remember you telling your story and how
Mhm.
doctors said one thing, the narrative was this, and you
Yep.
chose to defy that. You chose to believe otherwise. And not only did you surprise, but you exceeded expectations. And now you're here with your own podcast where you're supporting other people, similar people, and just in general, the platform that you carry and that you're provide for other people in the world is truly incredible. And I think that's just great evidence that the only difference between the people that have and the people that don't is that the haves believes that they could, and the have nots believe that they could. So
Yep.
understanding it all comes down to choice, and what do you really want, and how
Mhm.
much are you willing to commit to that vision.
Yep.
And you can create anything you you can possibly imagine, because the universe is filled with infinite possibilities just waiting to be turned into a probability.
Yep. I agree. And um, like the one thing that I live by is don't say I can't. Say how can I? Always just say, how can I get this done? How could I make this happen? How could I live the life I want? And then you get to work on that and figure out solutions to problems, and then you'll see, holy crap, I can do this, you know? So that's how I live. So, but yeah. All right, what would you like to leave with the audience today?
I think what I'd like to leave the most is, I know that it can be a cliche, and that purpose is talked about a lot. And I'd say in society, it's typically looked at as what's your passion and like what's your vocation.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot more nuanced than that, and it's a lot more powerful than that. And I truly believe that every single one of us individual souls came here with a very specific and very nuanced reason to be in the body that we were, and to be in the time that we were, and to
Mm-hmm.
make a significant difference, being that person and doing what they're meant to do, sharing their gift, sharing their energy, and making the difference that they're meant to make. So there are no mistakes or coincidences. You are here for a reason, and your soul,
Mm-hmm.
I promise, your higher self is calling you to understand and uncover this reason, so you can step more fully into you, so you can shine your light more for the world, and so we all can have examples of light being shined fully, so we can all be there for each other. Because we're moving from I consciousness to we consciousness, which,
Mm-hmm.
just like you kind of touched on earlier, it's all about being in service. It's all about being there for each other, and understanding that we
Mm-hmm.
all affect each other, whether we know it or not. The more we can understand ourselves and fully be ourselves, the more we're supporting everyone else around us and doing the same.
Yep, I agree. Well, thank you for sharing that, and thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. It was an honor. I really appreciate the time.
Of course, if you enjoyed this show, please go ahead and share it on your Instagram story and tag me here, the Nick Yerhart. Also, go ahead and share it anywhere else that you see fit, because the only way that I can grow this is by you guys sharing it. I don't sell anything on here. I don't have any sponsors, so let's just get it out there by word of mouth and help more people. Alright, everyone, remember, Your abilities are infinite.